Oh,
Oh,
we're on the screen right now. Hey, I forgot to play the intro. What's going on, everybody? It's the Gallop Out. As you can tell, we're running all types of behind on today's show. We got
yeah.
tournaments going on, but
And
Jackson,
tech
we're
issues. A lot of tech issues too.
lot
That
of
was the
tech
main
issues.
the
That
main
damn
thing.
technology, you know.
That damn
Wow,
technology.
what a cold open that just was. Oh, Andy Sterling's not on
Yeah,
this show, so I'll fix that banner. All right, Jackson, we got a pick five carryover at Turfway Park today.
yeah.
We got $163,000 in the carryover to start. It carried over from the early sequence yesterday. We got the late pick five sequence today. So post time in a few hours just for the first race, and what is that? Something like 5 hours almost until the late pick five starts. So plenty of time to get through this sequence.
Yeah, plenty of time. And as you mentioned, it carried the early pick five carried yesterday, but it does carry over to the late pick five today. So the late pick five today is the one you want to be looking at if you're looking to play the carryover. And I don't know what you thought, Ryan, but I thought the sequence was really, really tough. I mean, as expected, it's Turfway Park. You got full fields. A lot of the horses are very, very similar, and a lot of the horses are trying the surface for the first time, and they're coming from all over the place, and makes it very difficult. I fully expect the sequence to pay really well.
It should pay well. I mean, they always do it Turfway. I think the average pick five payout is somewhere in the neighborhood of $32,000 from last season. So, I mean, that's ridiculous. So it should pay nice. We have a nice pick five carryover. We'll get into it. We aren't going to do top picks for every race, but we do have our pick five tickets. And actually, I am going to have this just scrolling on the bottom, make it a little easier for all of our visibility here. All right, first race. You and I seem to both be on the same page in terms of it being a spread race. You are going 6, 8, 10, 12. I am going 4, 6, 8, 9, 12. So I'll just start. We'll just go inside to outside here. I thought the number 4
Yeah.
explosively. Eric Foster's been
Well,
off to a yeah.
do
Go ahead.
you want to start with the favorite real quick, just because I think this horse is going to
Sure.
be the biggest key of the entire sequence. He might be the most singled horse in here, and that's the 5
Sure.
one-timer.
That
And
is the
neither of
five.
us have him, so I'd be curious to hear first why you don't.
I feel like this horse has had every chance to win races and just doesn't seem to. Hasn't won since the Ellis Park race back in August of 2023. That's a pretty long time between visits to the winner's circle. Has, had pace setups, has not had the setup, and has just kind of run the same race every single time. I've kind of seen enough of this horse. I didn't think they were going to be flying pace-wise in here. Now, this is a $25,000 claimer going 6.5, and this horse is dropping down in competition from Optional Claiming Company, graded stakes. So clearly a huge class relief, but at 6 years old, his speed figures certainly aren't on the upswing. They've been getting lower. Odds on in 2 of the last 3 races, and has failed as the favorite both of those times. I don't know. It feels like the perfect time to take a stab against a favorite.
I agree. I'm going to share the stat that I'm not going to use at all, but I thought the drop was a little suspicious. But Larry Ravelli at Turfway Park with class droppers 50% or more drop in price tag. He is 12 for 25, and 19 of them hit the board. So this is a move he's very, very good at. Actually, sorry, when those horses are 2 to 1 or less. So this horse is clearly going to be 2 to 1 or less. This is a move he's very good at, and because of that, I think he's going to take a lot of money in here. The problem is he's going to be overbet based on class lines that happened last year. Like, he's run 3 consecutive races that make him just another horse in this race. So why would I want to use him at a very, very short price in here? He can win, of course, and maybe he'll knock us out and make us feel silly, but I don't need him. I'm trying to beat him.
Yeah, got to try and beat this favorite. So now we'll start with the horses that we're choosing as alternates. I'm going to go with the number 4 explosively as one of mine. I don't think this is my top pick in the race, but I do think this horse has a big shot just because has that speed. I get that 2 of the last 3 have come over sloppy and sealed surfaces, and that has maybe moved this horse up a little bit, but this horse does have some early speed, and I do like the cutback from a mile to the 6.5. Breeding wise, I mean, Turfway should be fine and has 2 wins over this course as well. A little bit of a versatile runner. I anticipate this one to be a little bit closer, obviously taking a slight step up in class, but I mentioned Eric Foster's been off to a pretty strong start with 4 in the exacta from 8 runners in total. So I'll use the 4 in my attempt to beat this favorite. Jackson, you're going to use the number 6. It's in my blood, as am I. But go ahead and talk about this runner for you.
Yeah, he'd be my top pick in here. Outside of the one who's going to be a massive long shot in this race, there's really not a lot of speed. We saw last time he finally cut back to a sprint, and he was 40th place and got the job done that day. Got a good number that fits against this bunch, and he's very proven over the surface as well. So I expect him to get a good trip in here, and he should be pretty tough against his group.
He should be tough against this group. That's absolutely right. This is, I don't know that I had a super strong opinion in terms of top picks, but the number 6 is certainly in that conversation. Next one we got to talk about is another common use between us. It's the number 8, Lord Majesty. I feel like the run style is correct for this horse. And again, there's a few unknowns, and obviously One Timer has the huge class edge against every runner in this field, but I felt like this one's going to get the jump on him, and we haven't seen the favorite finish off those races much. So I thought this one made plenty of sense.
Yeah, and based on his last 2, he's another one that he's put himself right in the mix. He's still lightly raced. He's only 3 years old. I love the confident class hike for this horse. Surface is a big question, but based on his current form, he's a must-use at 12-1.
He is a must-use with pairing up those 2 very strong speed figures in his last 2 races. Next one we got to go to is to the outside in the number 9. I'm using this one. You Are Not in Pensacola. This is another one I thought, again, has some consistency, some numbers to kind of get back to. I mainly looked at the 2 and 3 back efforts earlier this summer. Those were at Thistledown. That's obviously, a little bit different, but does have some works over this Turfway Park synthetic track, which I do like to see for horses that I'm going to take that are coming in from out of town. Just another one I'm going to take in the attempt to try and beat this favorite. I don't think I meant to do that, but is from a winning family. Is what I meant to say. So the number 9, Pensacola. Jackson, you and I were both on the number 10, Bebeduro. I don't know what you're laughing at right now, but
I was just laughing.
No, you're on the 10. Comment. Sorry, what? Oh, let's go see what this is. 8 is
no, cheap. Never mind. Talk about your 10.
All right.
Sorry, I'm getting used. We don't have the 10. We go to the 11.
I have the 10. No, you have the 10.
Oh, I do have the 10. Yeah, I do have the 10. Sorry, I was thinking. You messed me up there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, he's just another one that I love horses that are proven over this surface. I think especially this early in the meet, it makes a big difference because a lot of these horses are a complete unknown. He has a win over the surface at this distance, and he got a pretty relatively competitive speed figure for that effort. Now, his most recent form, the last race wasn't great. It did come on the offgoing, but the 2-back race was really good against better horses, and that's a race that puts him right in the mix too. So I like the outside post for him 10-1. I want to use him.
I definitely want to use him too. He's not on my ticket right now, but you did bring up some good points. Look, I mean, it certainly is dropping in class. Has a good run over this surface last winter, or I guess, late last winter in a sprint race. So certainly one that merits some consideration. We'll keep things moving. Neither of us used the number 11, but we did both use the number 12, Money War. And I do think this would be my top pick in here if I had to select one. Obviously, my top pick is to try and beat the favorite, but this horse has every effort but the maiden performance, which was a win. Every one of those numbers is up to par and better than what One Timer has run, given none of them have been on the synthetic, but does get the benefit of an outside draw here. Has, I think, a little bit more early speed than a horse like One Timer. This would be, I think, in my eyes, the most likely upsetter.
If he's 6-1, I'd be shocked. I mean, he is running the fastest speed figures in the race by a pretty considerable margin as of late. So he's got the outside post. He's got a versatile running style, as you said. I think he'll be closer to like 3-1 by come post time, but he's a must use. I think if you're looking at him versus the favorite, I would take Money War all day long.
I would too. I think Money War is a strong play. For a pick 5 carryover like this, Jackson, are you going to try and back up at all with the number 5 One Timer, or are you just going to try and beat that favorite altogether?
No, I'm trying to beat them altogether. I don't. I think if you have a strong opinion against a favorite, why would I bother spending money to back it up? I'd rather save that in case I somehow get alive in the last race, and maybe some giant holds I'm alive to. Then I can cover a couple other horses. But I think that to back it up in the first leg, it doesn't make a lot of sense, especially when I hate the favorite.
Yeah, just an important thing to note. All right, we'll move on to race number 7, second leg of this pick 5. I am going 3-4-11. Jackson is singling the 11, so let's start the conversation there. He is your favorite, GT 500. Jackson, you think this is a very strong lean for you? Obviously, that Turfway effort last December was very strong. Yeah,
he's going to be the key to my whole day, not just to pick 5, but whatever other bets I decide to do, whether it's just cash play or the Twin Spires tournaments, which I probably will get involved with. Just looking at this field, there's just not a lot of speed. There's no one else to go with him. I guess the 12 could potentially compromise him. His brother's riding though, so I don't know if his brother's going to necessarily try to mess it up for him. And that horse has more route speed. So you look what he's done over the surface sprinting. He's won both of those races, and he won them both pretty easily. Got big, strong speed figures for those races. His recent form is good. I know the two-back race wasn't wasn't great, but that was a way better field. It was a hot pace. Today he's going to have things his own way, I think. And even with the outside post, if someone on the inside really wants to go, he can sit second or sit third. He's been effective from just off the pace as well. He just seems like the best horse in the race. He's got a favorable pace scenario. He's got a good outside post, strong connections, very strong lean for me in this spot.
Yes, indeed, a strong link. Look, I use this horse as an A for sure. Maybe I could press up my pick fives with this horse because I think this is one of the more likelier winners of the sequence. We've seen speed play very favorable. I didn't really mention that with one timer, but I haven't seen a whole lot of horses come from way out of it. Stalking style has worked well. But in terms of deep closers, I haven't seen a whole lot of success from them in terms of on the win end so far to Turfway. Obviously, it's still very early, but I thought GT 500 certainly made a lot of sense. I did use two other horses in here, and that is just in case the 12 maybe really presses early on the chances of the 11, and I'll get to another pace setter in the number 4, My Own. But I thought number 3, Master Mule, is kind of the horse that I want to pick up all the pieces late if this thing really falls apart, which we've seen races just completely collapse at Turfway more times than at most other racetracks. Chaos tends to ensue. And this is a horse with Joe Ramos, I should say. He's off to a good start at the meet. This is a horse that can come from off the pace and, again, just kind of pick up those pieces if things fall apart. Horse I thought was a bit interesting with the addition of blinkers was the number 4, My Own. Certainly should show a little bit more speed now with the blinkers on for the first time in the career. Obviously, you go from having jockeys Irad Ortiz and Tyler Gaffleone to Fernando de la Cruz, but de la Cruz is very good at the Indy circuit. He's good at Turfway, and those big names are off elsewhere right now. So I do think the number 4 in My Own can hold his own and does have a win over this track and has been at Churchill Downs shipping in for this effort. So I want to give a look there I'm trying to beat a short price horse in the first. So I'll use a couple of prices along with the favorite, and I'll probably press up my tickets with the favorite as well. Any other horses you want to talk about in here, Jackson?
No, I'm good.
All right. We'll keep things moving into race number 8, going a mile for the 15,000 non-2 lifetime restricted horses. I'm going 5, and then you can see in the parentheses the number 13, the AE. Jackson is going 1-5-7-9. Jackson, will start with you on the rail and Vino Caldo.
Yeah, well, just real quick, I think a 13 did scratch.
13 is officially scratched. Yes, I see that.
Yeah.
I see that now.
This was a weird race to me. I think what I want to do in this race is use all the horses that are going to be forwardly placed because there's just not a confirmed front runner in here. So that was my opinion here. I want a horse that's going to be forward, and I kind of just spread. I use 4. And if Brian, if you'd like another one, you could talk me into using a couple more probably. But look, this is one of those messy races. All of them don't like to win. I'll use the 1, Vino Caldo, who's run well at this track before. His best number came when he got the lead from an inside post at this racetrack. He didn't win that day. But if he can get really aggressive from the rail, establish the pace, I think he could be dangerous at 12-1. So he's one I threw in there. He's
definitely one that could be dangerous at a good price. Sorry, I'm just catching up on a tournament play here as we approach the last at the Big 8. What are my cats doing right now? Everything's a mess in here. All right. I will go and talk about the 5, I think. Yes, because that's the next one in sequence we're going to go to. I'm going to end up singling this horse with the fact that the number 13 has been scratched, but I like the justifies on the synthetic. I think this horse can definitely take a step up. First time in the barn of Kelsey Danner, who's just been red hot the past, few months here. Everything she's had run has seemingly turned to gold. Sorry. But look, when I go back to this horse's route efforts, I do like the way this horse runs and finishes off those races. Has been just way, way overmatched for what the caliber of horse this is. I mean, that was a decent 6th at Saratoga this summer in a level that is worlds better than what he's facing here. So this is the lowest level of the career. First start with the new trainer, which Kelsey Danner's done pretty well at. Kelsey always has a pretty strong Turfway meet as well. So I want to take a bit of a stab on this one at 8-1. Maybe I end up spreading a little bit deeper with the 13 scratch. Maybe I use one of yours, but anything to add on the number 5, just too fly.
No, he makes plenty of sense. I don't think you're going to get 8-1. It seems like he'll be probably half that come post time, but look, this is the race I think a lot of people are going to spread. So if you're able to get your single home in this spot, that's going to open up a lot of doors for this pick 5.
That's certainly my hope because, I want to take a bit of a stab against in a wide open race. You're going to go with the number 7 as well in your ticket and stay in your lane. This runner had some good efforts over Presque Isle's synthetic course a little bit earlier. Maybe the speed figures are a little bit light, but this is one that you like in here.
Again, just a horse that is capable of being forwardly placed. He's getting in light today. He's run numbers that make him a fit over this surface at this level. He's a big bomb. I wanted to use him a little bit.
Hey, no hate on big bombs at Turfway because we've seen those come in more often than not. Your text yesterday was just, I love speed. So Lightning McQueen, you like the number 9 Extravagant Prince. What's up? I mean,
yeah, that's a great example. Like, especially at Turfway, going the 2 turns, it happens all the time. We saw this 40-1 shot yesterday, and I think it was Leparoux, right?
Yes, it was.
Leparoux said, I'm going to the front. I'm opening up 8 lengths, and you guys can come and catch me. And he opened up such a big lead. I think everyone just kind of assumed he'd come back to him. And by the time they got to the top of the stretch, they're like, oh, he has an 8-length lead. Like, it was too late for anyone to do anything. So speed's always dangerous. This feels like a race where that could happen again. The 9's another horse that fits that bill. Can be forwardly placed. The 1 win came on the lead. Bit of a question mark over this surface, although he did run at Woodbine earlier in his career against way better. He didn't do a whole lot of running. But, his numbers were okay in that spot. So I'll use him a little bit. And I'm against the outside horses just because, one, I don't think they're any better than anyone else in this group. They run numbers that are pretty similar. And we've talked about it before. The mile races at Turfway, those outside posts are very difficult to overcome because there's almost no run to the first turn. I mean, they break out of the gate and maybe 100 yards later, they're already going to the turn. So these horses either have to catch a flyer or they're going to get hung very wide and they have to overcome a lot. So I'd be against those 2. Can they win? Sure, of course, especially this 12 horse who's going to be pretty dangerous, but he has a lot to overcome from out there.
He does. There's a horse just yesterday that was it was the number 12. I forget the name of the horse, but was quite literally 9 wide going into the first turn. And eventually the jockey did a pretty good job of saving ground and really only ending up with a 2-3 wide trip. Made the run. It wasn't in time. You lose so much ground in that first turn. So you bring up an excellent point. So wrapping up race number 8, I am singling the 5. Jackson's going 1-5-7-9. Moving to the penultimate race of this late pick 5 sequence. I am going 3-4 with the 13 who has been scratched. So I will take that horse off as well. And Jackson, you are going with the 4, 8, and 11. So we have a little bit of similarity here, but we are going to start down towards the inside as soon as I'm done with this. I'll throw that back up. We're going to start with the number 3 in Jupiter, who I used on my tickets as I'm going 3-4. I thought this horse just dropping out of stakes competition into conditions for the race. We're going a mile for the 2-year-olds optional claiming event for everybody curious. Look, this one stretches out to 2 turns for the first time. I think bred top and bottom to appreciate the stretch out. Doesn't really concern me that this horse is in for the 62.5, only $50,000 for the purchase price. And it might just be one of those spots that makes a little bit of sense. And this horse sprinting did not ever have fast paces to kind of run and close into. So I think maybe we haven't seen the best from this horse. I anticipate Jupiter kind of being placed wherever early on. Not the fastest, obviously, but going sprint to route will certainly take him into the race a little bit more just with that natural race flow. And I think he has shown the propensity to kind of rate what little speed he has and be able to get the job done. He's faced primarily shorter fields, so maybe that's a little bit of a concern. But his 3 synthetic numbers are pretty strong for this level, so I'll use the 3 on my pick 5 tickets. Jackson, you and I are in agreement with the number 4 Jutland for a horse that we got to use on our tickets. I'll let you talk about this runner.
Just real quick with Jupiter, I was considering using that one. Mark Casse switching off Lasix is rough. Switching off Lasix with 2-year-olds, he is 2 for 51, 4% winners, and only 25% at the board. So for someone that wins at such a high level as Mark Casse does, that was a stat that really concerned me because it seemed pretty extreme. He can absolutely win. He's going to get a good setup in here. As a favorite, I was trying to beat though. Jutland's the other one for Kelsey, for Kelsey Danner. He makes plenty of sense in here. His numbers are good. He's been facing better horses. The service is a question mark for him, but at least he's been working on it pretty much all summer. So you've got to assume he'll be able to handle it. And he projects to get a really good trip as well, not too far from off the pace in a race where a lot of these horses want to be forward and are not proven the past horses. He is. So he makes plenty of sense against this group.
He does make plenty of sense. I'm with you. He's going to be forward. He has plenty of route races to get back to. Two back, lost to a horse, Proton, who we spoke about on our show last week when covering the Del Mar Turf Festival. That horse didn't end up running too strongly, but I do think that it was still a decent race, and I think the form holds up well. Last time out, lost to Atfield, Noble Dynasty, in a very nice Central Park running up at Aqueduct. So I do think Jutland probably meets a little bit of class relief here and has that right kind of that tactical kind of pace style. I want to definitely see him take another step forward and, get across the wire in front. Next horse we got to talk about is another one that you're going to use, and that's going to be the number 8 Candy King, 30-1 for Cherie, going onto the synthetic for the first time.
Yeah, Cherie, you don't get Cherie Dervaux at 30-1 too often. Total pace play here. I think this horse potentially could be the speed of this field. I watched a workout recently at Turfway Park. He went in company with an older horse. It's still a maiden. It was only raced a couple times, but costs, I believe, $800,000. So I got to think there's a lot of talent with the workmate. And I thought this horse went considerably better than that one in that work. So I think he's a horse that is going to take to the surface. I think he's probably might be his best surface. As you can see, they tried to get him on the grass last time, but he was still able to win on the dirt. So in a race that seems completely wide open, I'm going to take a shot on a big long shot.
I love it. If Alex Ashard is aggressive out of there, gets to the lead, we've seen crazier things happen. Yeah. Let's talk real quick about your morning line favorite in the number 9 Valiant, a horse neither you or I are going to be using on our Pick 5 tickets. Why are you against this favorite?
They paid a lot of money for this horse. And the fact that they had to go to Indy to win is a little concerning, especially when he didn't win the first time, when he had everything his own way. I know he came back and won third time out, but if this horse is really that's good, like worth $1 million price tag, don't you think he'd be down at Gulfstream or at Fairgrounds or at Oaklawn even, get on the Derby Trail? It seems like they don't think much of this horse, and they're just trying to find a spot for him.
Yeah, I don't entirely disagree. I mean, we've seen plenty of good Brad Cox horses go through the Indy circuit. Sometimes it's just the way things go. Sorry?
It's almost always it's fillies, though. He doesn't need to take the Colts up there.
Yes, that's definitely an important point. But he does also use Turfway as some Derby preps. He had the winner of the Jeff Ruby Stakes last year in Final Gambit. That was the horse. So
most overbet horse in America, yeah.
Most overbet horse in America. That's right. Now, so again, I'm not going to use this horse. I'm against the favorite for a lot of the same reasons you are. He finally got the job done at 3-5 last time at Indy, where he got an easy lead up front. He's got to prove it to me, and he's kind of towards the outside, which we've talked about those outside posts a lot, going the mile distance. And we're going to stick to the outside as the number 11 Forum is the last one you're going to use in race 4 of this sequence.
Yeah, just he's going to have to work out a trip from out there. But I liked his last 2 races. I like both of his races. I thought the Sprint was a good debut for a barn that doesn't really try to win first time out. I thought he ran well. Passed some horses, he finished second. Then came back at Churchill and got a much better trip and was able to get the job done that day. So I think he'll take another step forward third time out. There's obviously expectations here. They paid a lot of money for him. Just got to work out a trip from out there. Not easy to do.
Yeah, he does have to work out a trip. Jackson, there seems to be a lot of ones on these pages as we look through all these races, or all these horses rather. Is there a horse that maybe – I don't know, maybe you haven't considered fully yet, and I'm asking myself the same question, one that you think, I mean, when we're looking through, there's really just 2 or 3 horses that are not having the 1s or the 2s early on. What are your thoughts on a horse like the 6? Rock Your World, I know our buddy Matt DeSantis is probably going to be all over this horse tonight if I had to guess. But, Rock Your World, Candy Ride was certainly fine. Filo di Ariana, I felt like was a current runner at Woodbine, but I guess I'm
Nah, he was a gelding. I think there's 2 of them.
Okay, that might be
there's an American-bred one, and then there's like whatever the Woodbine horse was. I think he was South American or something. I don't know.
That must be it. Oh, Brazil, who was Brazilian bred. You're right. Okay, anyway, a horse like Carnival Rock, or is there another horse that we haven't mentioned yet that you could see kind of picking up all the pieces if this thing falls apart?
Well, picking up the pieces, I think it would be the 6 if I was going to use someone else, just because he's the proven other horse. I just felt like he was too slow. Like he's run a couple of races with Orthopeda much slower than everyone else in here. Now maybe improves going the 2 turns, but yeah, he just wasn't for me. I'd be more curious. This doesn't really help you with the pick 5, but I'm curious how much money the 5 takes in here, who was pretty impressive first time out. at 66-1 getting the job done that day. It seemed like he beat a decent field. I don't know if he can do it again. I don't know if I want to take 8-1 after he paid $150 last time, but he's one I have my eye on just out of curiosity.
Yeah, he's one that's a little bit interesting. I mean, yeah, all parts of his form are muddied up. Quite literally on the surface last time out, you mentioned paid over $130 to win. Stretching out for the first time. Hit It a Bomb was a good horse, and certainly had some good synthetic runs as well. Could handle it. I mean, this could be an absolute chaos race. If we had a bigger budget, I probably would have gone with the all. But yeah, I mean, I do think the number 4 Jutland should sit the right kind of trip, and showed on debut going 2 turns, can certainly close from off of it. So that's probably going to be my top pick in a race like this. But a lot of interesting runners here as we kind of keep things moving through this late pick 5 sequence. And we got to get to the payoff leg now, where I'm going 3 deep. I'm going 3, 6, 10, and Jackson with a very stressed. He is going 8, 9, 11, 12. So we're going 6.5 for the maiden $15,000 claimers. Jackson and I are using a combined 7 horses, and none of them are the same horses. So that obviously inspires a ton of confidence. If there's an all race, it might be this one. All right, I'll start first with our, I believe the favorite in this race, and that's the number 3 Dodecahedron. This is a race full of just, how can I be now? A bunch of horses that don't want to win ever, I don't think. And this is a fall off a cliff for a Mike Maker horse. Homebred, so I think it's maybe just kind of a realistic spot. They've tried the maiden special weights at different racetracks. It just hasn't panned out. I do think this horse is much better sprinting. I do like that last out effort going 5 furlongs at Indy, where typically you need to be forward early on that course, and you can see they went fast, and this horse wasn't super far out of it. So I would anticipate the Axeman, Luan Machado, to get this horse up and involved pretty early, whether that's up on the pace or just in that stalking trip. Has a good spot and might just be classier than these. So I didn't want to, I've left out a couple of favorites on this sequence. This is one I thought could definitely get the job done.
Do you think he's going to be 5-2? I feel like he could be 6-5.
7-5? Yeah.
I think he could get bet pretty hard in this spot.
Yeah. And I think
she makes it kind of makes sense.
It does make sense. I mean, they're very strong connections at Turfway. Axeman and Maker are 30% with a positive ROI. I mean, this is a horse. Biggest drop in racing is maiden special weight to maiden claimers. That's what this horse is doing. And again, this horse kind of makes plenty of sense. I don't think anybody's going to be super surprised if this horse gets the job done. But I also don't fault anybody for trying to beat this runner. As we work through the field, their second choice is the number 6 British Empress, who I also used. Nothing like an 0 for 17 maiden to try and get the job done, but at least dropping down one more time, cutting back from those route races earlier in the year at Gulfstream. Had some sprint races to kind of get back to. Not one that inspires a ton of confidence, but one that I think it's certainly possible that she is going to meet her friends today. So British Empress is one I used in here. Jackson, you're going to need a little bit of luck to get this horse home. And then number 8, need a bit of luck. What do you like about this runner?
It's definitely a spread race for me. I was against the 2 horses that you have, the 3 and the 6, just such short prices. I didn't think they were huge standouts in here. This filly's coming off the bench. She ran okay here last year. She tried to go the 2 turns, set a fast pace, didn't quite work out. Then came back and had a tough inside post, and something happened that day because she has been seen since. So I'd be willing to forgive that effort. The races before that were pretty good. She's running numbers that would make her a fit against these. The work tap's pretty good. She seems to be working well. I like the outside post at a price I felt like she was worth including.
Yeah, she should be. She's certainly going to be worth it at the price you're going to get. So not one that I would poo-poo you on. And I'm certainly not going to talk trash on a 30-1 shot that you think has a chance in here. Go ahead and sell us on the number 9, Catnip Hill. My cats would love you for this.
I just think Will. What do you have?
Sorry. Keep talking.
What do you have?
5 to win.
Oh, well, not good.
Uh-oh.
Look, the 6.5 furlongs, I think, can be really chaotic. It can invite extreme pace scenarios, and especially at this level. And that's looking at this field, I think this pace could be really, really hot. She seems like one that could take advantage if it does. If it really falls apart, she's going to drop back and make that one run. 30-1, yeah, let's take a little stab because she does like the past horses, and most of these don't. So she does have at least that going for her.
She does have that going for her. So yeah, hey, again 30-1. I'm not going to talk you off of a horse like that. We'll go 2 to the outside. Yummy Bella, another one you think has a chance, dropping down to the lowest level of the career.
Yeah, she seems the most logical of the horses that I've used. As you said, never been at this level. She's run really well this track against much better. So, she makes plenty of sense. Outside draw, versatile running style. 0 for 18 is tough to swallow, but look, she's run competitive races, so we'll use her too.
Yeah, she's certainly run competitively, and is one that I think at 5-1, I think that's reasonable value. I could see her float up maybe a touch or two from there. But Julian Leparoux had a couple good rides yesterday. Last one in the sequence to talk about, dropping from maiden special weight down. What'd you say?
Sugar Mama.
Dropping down from maiden special weight to maiden claimers, second off the bench with the new trainer. What do you like about this runner?
Yeah, she's another I think could be picking up the pieces late. Cutting back from 2-turn races, going on the grass against better horses. She's got the outside pose, numbers that fit. I think she's a must use in the sequence. I think if this thing falls apart, she's the one that's most likely to come pick him up late. The question is, can she handle the service? Because her races at Prescott were not great, but I think she got different trips in those races than she's going to get tonight.
I agree. I do think I think she is going to get a bit of a different trip, and I do like your point that if this thing falls apart, I think it falls into the hands of her. And I don't think she's going to be, crazy far off the pace, but I do think she kind of has the best closing ability in a race that doesn't inspire a whole lot. But that will be the final leg of the sequence. I'll take the tickets off real quick, and I will put them up so we can all we can look at them in total. But here we go. They're up on the screen right now. Jackson, your ticket is $96 as we just went through the sequence. My ticket, doing quick math, looks to be $45 as Jackson has too much editing power as he's taking the banner off the screen.
I didn't do that.
You didn't do that? Who did that? That might have been Noah. You're the 12 Sugar Mama scratched, by the way, is what Noah Maher has just told us. So anyway,
okay, there
it goes again. I don't know what's happening. Whatever. You guys have seen the Pick 5 tickets. We'll wrap this thing up as we have about an hour 40 minutes until post time at Turfway Park. Thank you guys for watching. This was just a quick special edition. Want to give you guys this coverage. Good luck if you're playing the late Pick 5. $163 carryover starts in race number 6. Good luck if you're playing, and we will see you guys next week here on the Gallop Out.